Adam, hero and villain of humanity. And if I told you that a single choice, made in a perfect paradise, triggered all the pain and suffering we know today, Adam and Eve had everything: peace, beauty, and immortality. But one simple act of disobedience forever changed the course of humanity. In this video, we will reveal the dark secrets of the Garden of Eden. I will explore the devastating impact of that decision and understand how it continues to affect all our lives. I ask you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's very important to us. And don't miss the story that changed the world forever. The creation of Adam in Eden. When Adam opened his eyes for the first time, he saw the world in front of him, an indescribable beauty. Something no human being would ever experience again. The air was pure, filled with the scent of the most vibrant flowers, and all around him, every living creature thrived in perfect harmony. This was the Garden of Eden, a place where absolute peace reigned, where there was no pain, no fear, no death. When the Creator bent over the dust of the earth, something extraordinary happened. Not only did he shape Adam's body with divine precision, but he did something no other creature had experienced. He breathed life into Adam's nostrils. And in that instant, the lifeless body became flesh. The inanimate received the soul. Adam opened his eyes, not as a mere creature, but as the living image of God. That breath, filled with mystery and power, made Adam more than alive. It made him an extension of the Creator's presence on earth. The role and responsibility of Adam. In his eyes shone the reflection of eternity. In his heart beat the infallible love that gave origin to everything. Adam's uniqueness was not just in his physical form, but in his essence, created in the image of the divine. He was the only one, among all creatures, who bore within him the mark of the Creator, a being capable of thought, feeling, and choice, just like God. And so, with the breath of life, Adam became the bridge between heaven and earth. He was the personification of divine intention. His task was clear: reflect the glory of God in every thought, every gesture, every choice. Adam's duties in the Garden of Eden. The responsibility he carried was immense, but so too was the honor of being the first, the beginning of human history. Among the lush trees and shimmering rivers, Adam received a mission: to cultivate and keep the garden. He was not a mere spectator, but the gardener and guardian of a world like no other. Every plant that flourished and every fruit that ripened was under his care. His hands, shaped by God himself, now molded the earth, continuing the Creator's work. And as he worked, Adam discovered the joy of watching creation prosper under his watchful eye. The creation of Eve. But it wasn't just plants that were under Adam's domain. The Creator brought all creatures from the earth, from the majestic lion to the smallest insect. With wisdom given by God, Adam named each one, establishing a unique connection with every living being. He became a benevolent leader, one with the power to protect and care for, and in doing so experienced the freedom of being a co-creator in the world entrusted to him. The fall of man. As Adam and Eve explored Eden, they came across a tree that stood out among all the others. Its fruits were beautiful and alluring, but there was something different about it. It was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, planted by God himself at the center of the garden. One day, God called Adam and Eve, and with a voice full of love and seriousness, gave them a clear instruction. You may eat from every tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The day you eat of it, you will certainly die. These words resonated heavily in their hearts, but they understood the importance of obedience. The temptation. The tree, with its tempting fruits, now represented more than just a plant in the garden. It became a symbol of choice and responsibility. A constant reminder of the freedom that God had given Adam and Eve, but also the consequences of their decisions. Eden, which until then had been a place of pure peace and harmony, now held a test of faith and obedience. As Adam and Eve continued to live in the garden, enjoying its beauty and the blessings that the Creator had bestowed upon them, the presence of the tree was always there, in the center of it all, as a silent test of their trust and loyalty. The simple sight of that forbidden fruit evoked in them complex feelings, a mixture of curiosity and fear, reminding them of the great responsibility they carried in their choices. The serpent's deception. The serpent, crafty and sly, approached Eve in the shadows of the trees. Its eyes reflected a gleam of malice disguised as innocence. With a soft and seductive voice, the serpent asked the first question that would echo through eternity: did God really say you can't eat from any tree in the garden? Eve, surprised by the creature's audacity, responded, "We can eat the fruit of the trees in the garden, but God told us not to eat from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, nor touch it, or we will die." The serpent then leaned in closer, whispering a tempting promise, "You will not certainly die. God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." These words planted doubt in Eve's heart. The fruit, once a simple symbol of obedience, now seemed to carry a power she had never imagined. The temptation to know more, to be more, began to cloud her thoughts. Eve looked at the fruit with new eyes. It was beautiful, desirable, and the promise of wisdom was irresistible. Adam, beside her, felt the same growing tension. He knew what God had said, but the serpent's voice planted dangerous curiosity in his mind. Could this fruit offer something beyond what they had imagined? The consequences of disobedience. Eve, her hand trembling, reached for the fruit. With one last glance at Adam, who remained silent, she took a bite. The moment she tasted it, something shifted within her, a sweetness, but with something more, something indescribable. Adam, watching her, saw a mixture of surprise and fear in her eyes. Without a word, he too took the fruit and ate, as if this act could answer the questions now swirling in their souls. But instead of answers, they were met with a weight they had never felt before. In an instant, the reality of Eden changed. What was once innocence now transformed into awareness. For the first time, they noticed their nakedness. And with that revelation came a shame they had never known. Trying to cover their vulnerabilities, they used fig leaves, as if they could hide from the Creator what they had done. The expulsion from Eden. The peace that had once reigned in their hearts was now replaced with an overwhelming guilt. Every sound in the garden, once a comfort, now seemed to accuse them. The fruit that had promised wisdom now brought the harsh reality of their actions. The weight of disobedience was not just in their minds, but in their spirits, like a shadow that stretched over all of Eden. Did they know something irreversible had occurred? The paradise, once perfect, was now a place of regret. What had once been a life in perfect communion with God now bore the stain of the choice they had made. The world they knew began to crumble, and with it, the peace and innocence they had once enjoyed.